Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and I'm here with two microphones, two different microphones that look almost the same. This is the HyperX Procast and the HyperX Quadcast S. Now, the Quadcast S is, as you can see, got RGB lighting, so that will be the obvious giveaway. That is until I'm muted. But in this video, I'm going to be comparing these two microphones and talking about the differences between them, but I'm also going to link in the description to a couple of other videos that I've done, because I did a video to compare the Quadcast S to the original Quadcast, and I do want to talk about some of the similarities between the original Quadcast and the Procast. Now, if you don't know already, the Procast is an XLR microphone, so this is quite a bit different from the Quadcast, but I am going to be doing some sound tests. So I'm using the Quadcast S now, for example, and now I'm using the Procast, so immediately you get an idea of the sound difference between those, and I'm going to stick to the Procast for a minute now just so you can hear that, but I'm also going to talk about the sound differences anyway. I've also done a review of both of these mics that I'll leave to in the description, but I also have used this with a couple of different interfaces, and that's the key takeaway immediately for the Procast is it's an XLR microphone, which means you need a lot of things. Now, one of the things that I really liked about the Quadcast and the Quadcast S, when they originally came, was, as you can see, shock mount, built-in pop filter, lots of other nice things about it. It had its own stand, so it had a mic stand, and you could pop it off that mic stand and put it on a boom arm, but you had the mic stand as standard. Then you got a USB cable, plug and play, RGB lighting, lots of other things about it that are really cool, and all of that in a reasonably affordable package on a really good sounding microphone, as you've already heard, and you might have heard elsewhere. It's a fantastic mic. The other thing that's nice about it is it's also has multiple polar patterns. So the Procast has a cardioid pickup pattern, so it means you need to talk into the front, and ideally you need to get close to it to get the best sound out of it. You can't talk into the other side, whereas the Quadcast has 4 different polar patterns, which means that you can have cardioid where you're talking to the front, and then all around omnidirectional, stereo, and bidirectional. So you actually can have it, you could set it up between 2 people, for example, and then 2 people talk into the same microphone, and you could record like that, or you could use instruments or whatever else with it. So immediately the Procast is a higher level of quality. It's a broadcast condenser microphone that requires 48 volts of phantom power. You need an XLR connection, so that means you need an XLR interface. Now, you get the shock mount system, as you can see, with its red straps on it. It looks really nice. It also has some other benefits to it, because it does come with a pop filter, which I'm not actually using at the second, but it has this pop filter here, which is a metal one, which attaches to the shock mount, and some other niceties to it. There's a roll-off switch and things like that. Just a couple of hardware switches on there. There's quite a bit of difference. Obviously, you can see with the Quadcast S that you can just turn it on, and then you've got the RGB lighting. That's adjustable in HyperX's Ingenuity software, so you can customize the RGB zones. This is the default view, though, and it's really nice. It's obvious when it's muted, because the RGB lighting just goes off. You have a gain wheel on the underside down here that you can adjust really easily, so you can increase the volume or decrease it. I've done a guide on how to make this mic sound good and the setup process for that, tweaks that you can make, but it's a really good mic and it's really easy to get sounding great. It also has a 3.5mm connection on the back, so you can plug your headset into it and then you can mic monitor really easily. The Procast doesn't have any of that. This microphone requires an XLR interface. You then need to mic monitor through that. There's no mic mute on the microphone itself. You can see when I go to mute it, I have to reach over to my XLR interface over there, which is not a problem. But these are all things that show you the differences between them. The Procast is probably the better sounding microphone. It's a more expensive mic. It is a better build quality. It has a large diaphragm, and you can hear just the sound quality of it. I also found it was really easy to set up with the Wave XLR from Elgato, which is a small interface. It essentially became plug and play there. You just plug your XLR cable from the microphone into the interface, then that interface into your PC with a USB connection, a 3.5mm into that, and then you've got a really easy setup with a good sounding mic, and you can also tweak loads of different settings and have like routing of audio using Elgato software. So that makes it really straightforward. But what I'm saying is this is an expensive mic, then you need to buy a load of other things. It doesn't come with a mic stand, so you need to get a boom arm. This is the Rode PSA 1 Plus. I've got one of those on either side of me at the moment, but you can see that both mics work on that. I also use the Blue Compass on a regular basis. They would work on there too. So you've got a choice of options, but you don't have as much stuff for your money in this microphone as you do in the Quadcast or the Quadcast S. What I do like, however, is obviously it has this same shock mount system, which is great. You don't often get a shock mount included with microphone. You usually have to buy them separately. And a pop filter, again, you usually have to buy them separately. But also, this is just straps, and it's the same logic with the Quadcast, but these are just straps that are really tight, and they're pulled over hooks on the microphone all around the outside. Now, because it's a cardioid pickup pattern, you have to talk into the front of it. You can actually move those straps, turn the entire mic around in its system, then hook them back over again. So I've actually done that now, because normally when you go to install the mic, you'd end up with it in the front this way. But I've obviously have it off to the side of me, so I needed to be able to talk into the front of it. So I just turned the microphone in the shock mount, and now I can talk into the front with ease. So simple little things like that are really nice, I think. The conclusion is that they're both fantastic, but for very different reasons. If you want a plug-and-play setup that looks great for streaming, obviously if you're a streamer or a content creator that wants something really eye-catching, there's this. This is also available in white, which I think would probably look amazing. I've not seen it personally, but I've seen pictures of it. It does look really nice. And I think this is a great looking microphone, great sounding, customizable. It has more adjustable audio in terms of what you can do with the positional audio, as I've already said. So it's really nice in a variety of ways, and it's great value for money. But if you want to up your game and you want to get a bit more serious with the mics, and I do think that there's a lot to be said for an XLR microphone with really good quality. I'm just going to maneuver it around so you can hear just how little sound goes into it. So if I put it down here, for example, you can pull it about, you can adjust it, and it doesn't pick up much. Also, the other benefit of this microphone is because it has that cardioid pickup pattern. When I'm talking into the front of it, you can essentially eliminate a lot of background noise. So, for example, I showed in the review that if you've got a keyboard and you're typing behind, or you're gaming on your keyboard behind it, the mic doesn't really pick that up. And this mic's good at eliminating that because of that. But also, if you have an XLR interface like the Wave XLR or Go XLR or the Rodecaster Pro 2 or the Razer Audio Mixer, I've done videos on all of these that I'll link to in the description, but you can use those, and they have noise gate settings and compressor settings and other things that you can adjust so that you can eliminate a lot more noise. So if you find that you've got a USB mic, or even that you've used the Quadcast and you couldn't get rid of background noise, or you couldn't get the mic sounding good, then this is a more powerful option when you combine it with the right interface. However, I do always feel like those XLR interfaces are a lot trickier to get sounding right. They can be a pain to tweak to get the sound just right. However, like I said, this one was really easy with the Wave XLR, really easy with the Procaster 2. It just plugs in, it sounds great. It requires very little changes and customization from what I've seen. So it's a great mic all round. So there you go, two fantastic options. These are two great mics. I highly recommend this on a regular basis to a lot of people. If you want a good plug and play USB microphone, this is a great option. And now the Procaster is there as another available option, more expensive, but it has a lot of the same quality features that you'd expect from HyperX. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Thanks very much for watching. You've made it right to the end of the video, you brilliant legend you. If you've enjoyed it, click that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and drop me a comment down below if you've got any questions. If you really enjoyed it, consider joining the channel and see the benefits of doing so. Check out these other videos. You might well find them interesting or useful. And most importantly, have a great life.